Shaman,
Shaman,
Yasharala,
Yasharala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Alahayanawa,
Alahaynawa,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Akkad,
Akkad,
Shaman,
Shaman,
Yasharala,
Yasharala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Alahayanawa,
Alahaynawa,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Akkad,
Akkad,
Shaman,
Shaman,
Yasharala,
Yasharala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Alahayanawa,
Alahaynawa,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Akkad.
Akkad. Hey, so with that, we're going to say all praises be to Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash.
Double honors to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone, rule well. Shalom to the sincere brethren. I came out there across the four winds, the four corners of the globe, pushing the truth, the good news of Yahweh Shai, proclaiming salvation to the elect of Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and proclaiming the downfall of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, and his wicked empire. So this video is going to be entitled, YouTube is chronicling the downfall of America, Babylon the Great. YouTube is chronicling the downfall of America, Babylon the Great, which is true indeed, because the YouTube, as far as pushing the truth of the scriptures, is the most powerful tool and is evident. You understand? It's truly even more powerful than actually going out there on the highways and the byways. You understand? But we go out there on the highways and the byways and we put it on the YouTube, and it reaches more people across the globe than we actually do being out there. Because the YouTube is that powerful tool that the Lord set up to reach the ends of the earth, to reach all over Babylon and to reach the ends of the earth. And that's how a large majority of brothers was able to wake up. And ultimately, the YouTube is the chronicling of the downfall of America. First and foremost, the truth, and then you have all these other YouTubers out there showing you going into the economic decline of America, going into the moral decline of America. That's what the whole red pill community is about. Women being totally out of order, women being demons. You know what I mean? You have also these different military shows that shows you these different military build-ups, geopolitical events. So YouTube has it all, man. First and foremost, the truth of the scriptures, and then everything in line that basically shows that the scriptures are true. And it's showing you the decline of the American society, American way of life, and America as an empire in totality, man. You understand?
And if I could also add real quick, you can even just see like social media in general, man.
Social media, because YouTube is a part of that, basically part of that same way.
And then that goes also even goes to show you that Esau's devices is backfiring on him, because not everyone has that smartphone, which is that mini computer, where they could record their own news and be their own journalist and post, you know, a different side of the story that the elites want to push on their news channels.
Kind of, that's what YouTube is. People have their own YouTube channel. Hey, we posted on our YouTube channel right now. And people have all type of YouTube channels with millions of subscribers and with millions of views. And I'm sure over the years, brothers from Apostles on Down have had, if you count it all together, millions of views. Most definitely, because the Apostles been on YouTube since 06, 07, about, you understand? On through. So there's millions of views of the truth, man. Know what I mean? Of the Israelites in totality. So, amen, it's evident that this YouTube, and the brother say you could say social media in general, but the YouTube is like the main thing within the social media atmosphere of pushing this truth, of pushing the downfall of America. So you want to get that first precept, Baba Kosha?
Yeah, Psalms 19:1. It says, the title is, "This is the chief musician, a psalm of David."
So this is Malak Dawadah, King David right here. Go ahead up.
It says, "The heavens declare the glory of the power, and the firmament showeth his handiwork."
So the heavens declare, man, the angels in heavens, you know what I mean? And the earth is a heaven in and of itself, and we declare the glory of the Lord. You understand? The creation that you see before you, you know what I mean? The trees, the mountains, the seas, the oceans, all of that is the glory of the Lord, man. From the heavens itself and the earth in its pristine state, they declare the glory of the Lord. Because, hey, what we're looking at right here, that's gloriful, man. You know what I mean? That's part of the glory of the Lord. Where that?
It says, "Day unto day uttereth speech."
So day unto day uttereth speech. that's going into what? The YouTube, man. Every day, every hour, really. The videos going up. That's why the apostles are always big on brothers producing videos, pushing videos. So day on to day utterate speech, the words of the scriptures. Brothers going into different lessons, different teachings, basically going into the downfall of America. That's one of the main things brothers go into. Brothers go into other topics, but one of the main topics, the main prophecies that brother goes into is the downfall of Babylon the Great, America. Day on to day, every day, man. Uttering that speech of the downfall of Babylon the Great. Go ahead, up.
Yeah, if I could add too, you could kind of say this word is being pushed 24/7. Why?
Yeah.
Because you got brothers in different time zones.
Yeah.
So when you got one, brothers in the East Coast that may be sleeping, brothers in the West putting up videos, or you got brothers over on the other side of the pond over there in Europe,
England,
right? You got brothers waking up in the Caribbean islands.
Yeah.
I even recently seen a video. I believe it was in Thailand.
No, in Philippines.
Oh, the Philippines, right? You got brothers in the Philippines preaching the word of Yahweh Shem Shai, and they're saying the name Yahweh Shai, man.
How was that brother able to wake up? Brothers didn't go out there to the Philippines. No, he woke up through the YouTube, man.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Through the YouTube being pushed across the globe, because YouTube is accessible in damn near every country. I don't know any country that really restricts YouTube like that. Maybe China, but I don't know for sure because I'm not out there. But the YouTube is global. You know what I mean? The YouTube is how majority of brothers was able to eat and come into this truth, man. Go ahead up.
It says, day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge.
So day and night, like the brother was saying, 24/7, videos pumping up. I mean, I can speak for myself. When I first logged on to the YouTube and the Israelites, day and night, I was watching videos, man. You know what I mean? On the YouTube. And this is back in the islands. For years, I was watching YouTube, man. You know what I mean? Because I couldn't see the brothers in person. But that's how I was eating, through the YouTube. Without the YouTube, shit, I would be starving, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I needed that YouTube, man. You know what I mean? And many other brothers the same, because they didn't have accessibility to a camp, you know what I mean, in their location. So they needed that YouTube to eat. They needed that YouTube to be brought up on game. You understand? Go ahead up.
It says, there is no speech nor language.
So there's no speech, because even our brother might not necessarily be speaking the language that you speak, but you could translate it, because YouTube has the translating function. You understand? So you could translate it if you might speak Japanese, Chinese, German, wherever you might be in the world. If you're not speaking the English language, French, Spanish, if you're not speaking the English language, you could press the translate button on the YouTube, and it comes up in your language what the brothers is saying, and you're able to understand it. You understand? And that's the power of the YouTube. That's the power of the Lord. You using the YouTube as the instrument. Like I said, the YouTube is really the key instrument. You know what I mean? The top instrument when it's coming to push this truth of the scriptures. The YouTube is a key instrument. You understand? That's what the Lord had it created for these times indeed. Go ahead up.
It says, where their voice is not heard. It says, verse 4, their line is gone out through all the earth.
So the line is gone out through the earth, through the internet. And the internet is basically the platform where the YouTube is on. The YouTube is found on the World Wide Web. Go ahead up.
It says, and their words to the end of the world.
Concept to the end of the world. Like I said, this is accessible all over the world. Like the brother brought up the brother in the Philippines. The Philippines is on the whole other side of the world, man, compared to America. I understand, but we know the truth that originated in America and spread throughout the world, man. Spread throughout the states and the world through the YouTube. That's that main instrument. That's chronicling the fall of the age of Esau, Edom. All throughout the world is being known through the YouTube that America is Babylon the Great, and America is going to be destroyed through nuclear fire in this World War III. The RFID chip is the mark of the beast. All throughout the world, the YouTube is the instrument that's being used to push that message, to push the fall of America across the globe. Go ahead up.
It says, in them had he set a tabernacle for the sun.
The sun is what? That wisdom, man. So hey, the YouTube is pushing the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding across the globe, man. You know what I mean? It's letting the world be known that who the Israelites are, who the righteous are, so on and so forth. And if your spirit acknowledges truth, you may not look like the prototypical Israelites, but if your spirit truly and in sincerity acknowledges truth, then 9 times out of 10 you're an Israelite, man. You understand? And that's the message that's being pushed throughout the entire globe. What is that? James 1:1, where the scriptures say, James 1:1, it says, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad.
Yeah.
And how is that being known? Through the YouTube, man. That's why the brothers always talk about the scattering of the Israelites. So this word is being, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of scriptures is being pushed throughout the 4 corners of the globe, through the YouTube mainly, man. That was it on that, right?
Yeah, and I was going to say too, this just also further proves that this isn't a black thing.
Yeah.
Right? This ain't no black Israelite movement, because again, if we got brothers, and I'm gonna say brothers, that's in the Philippines preaching the gospel, that just goes to show you, man, you know, their lineage goes back to the 12 tribes of Israel, man. You know?
To the 12 tribes, James 1:1. Like I said, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. You bring out that next precept, yeah.
So this is Jeremiah. So this is Jeremiah 51 and 58. It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts. It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, the broad walls of Babylon shall be utterly broken.
So the broad walls of Babylon shall be utterly broken. And we spiritually breaking down the walls of Babylon. Because Babylon put up the walls of what? Their different philosophies and ideologies. And we're breaking it down. So-called, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, his real name is Yahweh Shai. We breaking that Jesus Christ, that so-called Jesus Christ down, man. The son of the Most High is not a so-called white man, he's a black man. That's a great wall, a stronghold of Babylon, and we're breaking that down. You understand? We're breaking down that Esau, Edom, the so-called white man is Esau, Edom. You know what I mean? We're breaking down the walls of Babylon spiritually through the truth of the scriptures. And we publishing it in the YouTube, which publishing means to make known. And I think YouTube, it's called publish when you make it, well, it's called public. Right? When you make your video public or private, you make it in public, which public goes back to published, if I'm not mistaken. And you publish something by what? Making it known. And we're making it known throughout what? The 4 corners of the globe. You understand? So that's how we're breaking on the walls of Babylon, by pushing the truth of the scriptures throughout the 4 corners of the globe. Go ahead.
It says, and her high gates shall be burned with fire.
And that's what we're pushing through that. Yeah, America is going to be burned with fire. Literally, through that thermonuclear destruction, is going to be burned with fire. And real soon in the third world as well. We be pushing forward the prophecies of the scripture, you know what I mean? And we're making it public on the YouTube. We're making it be known. And that's how a lot of brothers came in through the fair, because brothers were pushing that heavy, man, from the apostles on down. America going to be destroyed with thermonuclear fire. That jolted your spirit, man. Like, what the fuck? I don't want to be destroyed. You know what I mean? That's really the main thing, yo. America gonna be destroyed with nuclear missiles, man. That put the fear of the Lord upon the scriptures through the YouTube, man. We wasn't even there in person. We was watching on YouTube, and that shit was like, wow. You watching on the YouTube, and you like, brothers going in to the different prophecies, different breakdowns, and you like, wow. They're breaking down Babylon spiritually, using the YouTube, man. Breaking on the scriptures and publishing it on the YouTube. And you getting edified through the YouTube, man. You understand? What?
It says, and the people shall labor in vain, and the folk in the fire, and they shall be weary.
So ultimately, America is gonna be destroyed. You understand? So trying to prop up America is gonna be all in vain, man. You so-called white people, you Edomites, and even 2/3 of you Jake that try to labor to build up America, try to make America great again, is all in vain, because ultimately the prophecy is that America is going to be destroyed in the Third World War through nuclear destruction. I have a precept, 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. So we're not carnal, man. That's why we're not telling Jake to pick up guns and buy guns and come up against the government. No, we're saying the Lord is going to do these things. The Lord is going to rise up these different nations against America in the Third World War. We're not going to do anything. The Lord is going to set up everything, man. And we're going to do what the Lord wants us to do. When the Lord give us that power, we're not going to do anything on our own volition, man. No, we're going to do what the Lord wants us to do. When the Lord sets it up for us to do it, man. The Lord gives us our spiritual power, so on and so forth. So this is 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. So we're breaking down America spiritually through the prophecies. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds. So all of the falsehoods and the false doctrines that America has pushed is a stronghold. They push what? Democracy. They push feminism. Women over men. They push alphabetism, also known as the LGBTQ community, so on and so forth. They push all this shit here in America and globally. These are strongholds and strong delusions that have been pushed upon people, man. Christianity, Islam, so on and so forth. They push these upon the people of the earth. And some of us, we were deep into what? Christianity, Islam. I mean, you was deep into what? Chasing money. You was deep into chasing women. Those are the strongholds and the strong illusions that America, Babylon the Great, has pushed upon us, man. But the truth broke that. The truth broke that, where you could see the Son of the Most High as a so-called black man and not as a so-called white man. You understand? You could see, a man is over a woman, man. I don't have to be kissing a woman's ass, man. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? All in that mama's boy venerating woman spirit. Nah, we came out of that. You understand? So on and so forth. So the truth breaks down the strongholds of America that America pushed, man. And the main tool that was used to do that is, again, the YouTube, man. And us breaking down the strongholds from the apostles on down is the fall of America. Because America is being broken down spiritually first, and then physically through the nuclear confrontation next. Understand? Bring it up.
This is Revelation 17 and 12. It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast.
This goes into basically NATO and the European Union. America spearheads NATO and the European Union. You understand? America is a whole that sitteth upon the beast.
It says, these have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast.
The beast is like NATO and the EU, and America spearheads that.
It says, these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is the Lord of Lords.
This is going into the end of World War III, man, where the remnants of NATO and the EU and also these different nations, what's left of their military, they're gonna come up against Yahweh Shai, man, in that final battle, man. It's gonna be Yahweh Shai versus Esau, Edom, and these different nations, military, and Yahweh Shai is gonna vanquish them, man. Go ahead, right?
It says, and King of Kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful.
So Yahweh Shai is gonna come back with that tens of thousands of angels, man. You understand? And even certain of the 144,000 who the Lord endowed with that spiritual power is gonna join the Lord in taking down this so-called white man and his military. Certain men upon earth is gonna be given that spiritual power, and we're gonna join the Lord and his angels in ripping up the so-called white man and his military. You understand? Go ahead.
It says, And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues.
Because America is the whore, man. You know what I mean? The whore that sitteth up on the beast, man. Because you have the whore that sitteth up on the beast, which the beast is named on the EU, and the whore is the spearhead of that, which is America. And it rules over these different nations. That's why America is known as a superpower. America is the head of the Edomite rulership, man. And we breaking that down. And us breaking this down right now is breaking down the strongholds, exposing America. Because people are just thinking, yeah, America is just another country, or America is just, they don't know what the fuck. But we breaking it down is exposing America, like, yeah, America, NATO and the EU is in the scriptures. They're the beast. America is the whore that sit up on the beast, so on. And this is breaking down our strongholds as we exposing who America is. I'm exposing who America is. We exposing the end judgment of America, which is that it's going to be burnt with fire. It's going to fall. By showing the world that America is Babylon the Great, we exposing America and we breaking down our stronghold, because the stronghold is that what? Is that ultimately America is going to be destroyed, man. Because the stronghold is that America is not going to be destroyed, but we're breaking that down by showing, yeah, America is going to be destroyed, because that's the end time prophecy of what's going to happen to our Babylon the Great.
It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore.
Kind of that's the times that we're coming into right now. As eventually, the beast, man, which is the 10 horns that thou sawest upon the beast, which is the European nations, the European nations of NATO, they're gonna what? Hate America. Even Canada also gonna hate America, and they're gonna shoot missiles. Those that have nuclear missiles, they're gonna shoot missiles upon America, because they're gonna feel what? Betrayed, which they're already feeling betrayed with DJ Trump in there, putting tariffs upon them, coming up against them. You understand? And that's what only gonna increase more and more in these end times, in this third world war confrontation with America versus Russia and China. Eventually, them NATO nations, they're gonna turn on America. You understand? They're gonna turn coat and shoot out with send missiles upon America, because they're supposed to be America allies, but they realize that America is full of shit. They realize that America is just using them. So guess what? Eventually, they're gonna make that decision, man. They're gonna be like, yo, man, fuck America, and they're gonna shoot missiles upon America same way. Right?
Yeah, since you mentioned Canada, recently the Prime Minister of Canada came out in an interview saying that the relationship between Canada and America is about to come to an end, man. You know, and then Trump putting all these tariffs, you know, on these different countries, and the ones that are going to suffer the most are the lower class American people, man. Because Trump is adding more tariff to these countries, because since America is all about imports, right? So for them to upkeep and keep making profit, they're going to charge more. So the American people are going to have to end up spending more money, and it's going to affect the lower class even more, and also the middle class. So what Esau has been trying to do is he wants to erase the middle class. He wants it to just be the rich and the poor.
Yeah.
So the poor is going to suffer the worst, and the middle class is going to feel it too. You know, the rich is going to be like, all right, whatever, because they got the money. But, you know, these people thinking, oh, yeah, Trump is putting tariffs on all the other countries, not realizing you got to pay extra for that shit, man. Right? The prices on goods is about to skyrocket. Okay? It's even already now, eggs is already on fucking expensive, man. I don't even remember ever like looking at the price of eggs until one day I went shop. I was going shopping one time, and I was like, oh fuck up. For some reason, the spirit said just look at the price. Usually, certain stuff you buy, I'll just go and I'll just be like, I just need this, I just need that, I just get it because I just need it. And I'm like, they wanted me to pay damn near like $16 to $18 for a dozen eggs. I said, I guess I ain't eating no eggs this fucking week. You know, and I'm just like, damn, man, for eggs?
Kinda, that's part of the fall of America. As people chronicling that, man, on the YouTube, man. People showing you how inflation is happening. You know what I mean? Basically, YouTube is how America, the fall of America is being televised, man. Like how they say the revolution will be televised. The fall of America is being televised through the YouTube, man.
Yeah.
And it's showing all the different ways in America falling. Like the brother was just going into the economics, the inflation of the inflation, which inflation is a telltale sign of the fall of a society. You understand? Which that goes into our Revelation 6. You understand? Which is what we see right now. The hyperinflation, ultimately the famine, is going to happen here upon America. And famine don't necessarily have to be the lack of food. It could be the lack of access to food or the lack of access to buy food, which is going to happen because you people ain't going to have enough money to buy food, man. That's going to cause a lot of the chaos in our society. And that's really, I log on to the YouTube and all these people talking about how fucked up shit is, man.
Yeah.
You log on to the YouTube, that's all YouTube is, man. This is fucked up. We can't afford to buy a house anymore. Rent is so high. Or woman is totally out of order. You know what I mean? You understand? Or Iran just did this, China just did this military action or this move. It's just a bunch of different shit, man. That's showing you that America is in a precarious situation. America is falling. And you actually have people on YouTube. This one dude, man, he's saying, yo, the American empire is falling, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You have cats like Dabu 7. You know what I mean? Going on this for years now, people have been chronicling the fall of America, the fall of the society of America, man.
It's just becoming a lot more plain,
yeah,
to like the everyday average Joe now.
Yeah, exactly. Like 10 years ago, it wasn't so plain. It was mainly the apostles, the elders, the brothers at Great Millstone, the Israelites. That's really saying that America is going to be destroyed. America is falling. But now it's like, it just become more and more with the progression of YouTube. You know what I mean? Like every channel is like some fucked up way in how America is fucked up, man.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
It's more. Continuing in Revelation 17, verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast.
Kind of those 10 horns is those different European nations like France, England, you know what I mean? Germany. Those represent the 10 horns. Brothers, there's breakdowns on it, but those 10 horns are some of those main European nations that's gonna turn upon America. They're gonna hate the whole. Go ahead up.
It says these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire.
So ultimately, we seen how that's gonna happen, man. Because we've seen these nations already having animosity. These American allies, European allies, and even Canadian allies have an animosity towards America. So it's not far off to see them, ultimately making a bold decision to turn upon America, man. You understand? It's not hard to see. And that's going to happen according to biblical prophecy. And we've seen it. We've seen it before our eyes. That was it on that?
Yeah.
Let me go back to, I think it was 2 Corinthians 10. 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High. Kind of that's what Esau's society is about, exalting himself above the knowledge of the Lord. Pushing like the Big Bang Theory, we casting that down. Pushing that man evolved from apes, pushing that down. He pushing that what? Those people over there in the land of Israel are the real Jews. No, we breaking that down. That's one of the main things we breaking down, man. You understand? His whole covering cast of who the real people of the Most High are. His covering cast over who the Son of the Most High are. We breaking that down. You understand? We showing for who the true names, Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai. You understand? So we breaking down all the strongholds of Esau, Edom that he placed upon people, man. That have them all messed up, especially our people, not knowing the truth. We pushing out the truth, and we breaking down the falsehoods of Esau, Edom. And the main tool, the main weapon is through the YouTube. Brothers being edified and waking up, and joining the campaign of Yahweh Shai. Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bring it into captivity every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach. So ultimately pushing Yahweh Shai, you know what I mean? Putting off the old man and bringing in the new. We showing brothers how to be born again. Showing brothers and sisters how to live righteously, the righteous way of the Lord. That's what we're bringing forward, and the YouTube allows us to push that message across the world, just like the click of a button. Because after we log off this video, we're gonna upload it, and then it's gonna be available to the four corners of the earth. And that's something. There's gonna be another video chronicling the downfall of America, exposing the lies of America, breaking down the strongholds of America, showing forth who America is in the scriptures, showing forth who the real people of the Most High are, who the real Jews are, which are you Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You understand? See, I think it was one politician, or was it Rockefeller or something? He said the internet was the worst thing created. It's like the internet should have never been invented. Because without the internet, the world would have been in. Think about it, the world would have been in darkness for the most part. All these brothers in New York really would have been on some type of level, unless you came across an Israelite camp live in person.
Yeah.
But other than that, the vast majority of the world would have been in complete darkness, man. You understand? But the Lord made forth this tool, man, the internet, and then the YouTube. Hey, the Lord is beautiful, man, to push forth this word, to push forth the truth of the scriptures, and cast down all the strongholds and delusions and vain imaginations of this world. I show you that, yo, this place that you call America, this great city that is admired throughout the globe, is Babylon the Great in the scriptures. And when you read about Babylon the Great, you know that what? Babylon is going to fall, man. You understand? Babylon is going to fall. You hear that?
I got some. Jeremiah 50 verse 1. It says the words that the Lord Yahweh spake against Babylon and against the land.
Who is Babylon? America, man. America is Babylon, man. And we showing that forth, man. You know what I mean? That's one of the main strongholds. Who's identifying who America is, identifying who Esau, Edom is, which is the Edomites. And we know the judgment for the Edomites according to the scriptures. There's a great judgment, which is ultimately is going to be extermination, but it's going to be captivity, then extermination. And we know the great judgment that awaits Babylon the Great, which is what? To be burnt with fire. And that fire is going to be the thermonuclear destruction. So that's what we have to show. We have to put names to places and peoples, man. Because without putting the names, who they are in the scriptures, then it's like people don't know. People can't apply it. But that's showing you, no, America is Babylon the Great, man. Oh shit. Person going in the scriptures, oh shit, Babylon gonna fall. It sounds, the scriptures talking about Babylon falling, burned with fire. Oh shit. Esau, Edom is a so-called, I don't know, the scriptures speak about Esau and Obadiah, how there's a great judgment that awaits Esau. So this is breaking on the strongholds, and the YouTube is being used to push this message across the globe, man. That's the beauty of it, man.
Right, and you got to break down that word Babylon, because you got some people that's going to say, what does Babylon mean, right? Babel meaning confusion, Lon meaning land. How is America, aka Babylon, a land of confusion? Every day is upside down day, man. Left is right, right is left, up is down is up, right? You got transformers, right? I want to call them Decepticons. You know, anybody who's into like the Transformers, you know, because what they are being Deceptors, man. They're Transformers and Decepticons, man, right? Ruling, being placed in a position of power, right? Along with these other so-called women, right? You got, you know, shit. So, Jake is at the bottom, man. You got animals that have more rights than the so-called Jake man. You know? This whole place is just engulfed in this wickedness and madness. This is a land of nothing but confusion, man, right? They rather promote eating GMO food than the real stuff. This place has to get nuked, man.
And also confusion, that also goes into what? This place has all the people of the earth, man, the melting pot. Especially here in New York City, you find every nation, every kindred, every tongue here in New York City, man. Chinese, Vietnamese, people from Nepal, people from the Caribbean, people from North, South, Central America, people from Africa. Every country in the world, man.
It's here.
It's here, man. Especially in New York City, that's like an epicenter. So that's what confusion, because all of these nations have what? Different gods, different ideologies, and philosophies.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's just a big bowl of confusion and idol worship and debauchery. You understand? Go ahead.
Continuing, It says, I'm start over from verse 1. Jeremiah 50:1. It's a word that the Lord Yahweh spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans.
So, the Lord is against Babylon, man. The Lord ain't with Babylon. The Lord ain't with America, man. But,
by Jeremiah the prophet. It says, declare ye among the nations and publish and set up a
publish.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
Oh, boy, that's the point. Publish, man. How are we publishing it? Through the YouTube, man. We making it public. We don't put our videos on private. No, we put it on public, man. So the whole world can see. Yeah. Yep. America is Babylon. America is falling, man. You know what I mean? So on and so forth. We the Israelites. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American, we the Israelites. We publishing that across the globe. Go ahead.
It says, declare ye among the nations and publish and set up a standard.
Kind of standard is the truth of the scriptures, man. The truth of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Right?
It says, and publish and set, it says publish again and conceal not, say Babylon is taken, Baal is confounded. What's it? Merodach is broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded. Her images are broken in pieces.
So that's the spirit that we pushing forth, man. Babylon is confounded, man. And the idols, we exposing the idols as no power, man. Like Daniel did in ancient Babylon. He blew up the idol, man. In the book of Bel and the Dragon. He blew it up, man. I'll show you that there's no power in these idols, man. There's no power in the ways of Babylon the Great, man. You know what I mean? The power is serving in serving Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So that's what we pushing. We pushing that what? Babylon is falling, man. Babylon is collapsing. And we pushing that message, publishing it. We not concealing it through the YouTube, man. You understand? Go ahead up.
It says for out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate.
That nation against Babylon, that north from north is talking about Russia. You know, because in some instances the north can be referring to America, but in this instance that nation from the north is Russia, because Russia, which is aka the Soviet Union, is the main adversary of America, right? And that's another thing we do. We're showing you the prophecies on these different nations coming up against America. Ezekiel 38, Gog and Magog, we're showing you that's Russia, man. You know what I mean? We're showing you that Russia and her allies, the Iranians, you know what I mean? China, North Korea, all these nations are gonna come up against America. We publishing the aspects, the geopolitical happenings of World War III. You understand? Go ahead up.
It says, which shall make her land desolate.
Make her land desolate through what? That thermonuclear destruction, the thermonuclear missiles launching ICBMs upon America. Go ahead up.
And none shall dwell therein. And they shall depart, both men and beasts.
So America is going to be made totally desolate according to biblical prophecy. It's going to be a desert of unclean creatures, man. If you're up on the lands of America, on the shores of America when the nuclear missiles touch down, you better be a part of the elect. If not,
you're done.
Finish, man.
You're done.
That's the message I've been pushing forth.
Yep.
You know, I mean, we're making that public through that YouTube. Hey, that's a bad preset right there for this topic, man. YouTube is for sure chronicling the fall of America, man. You have anything else? I have something if you don't.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 1. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory, and he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, is fallen. That's the spirit that we push it forward. Babylon is fallen. There's like a reggae song on that, man. Babylon is fallen. You know what I mean? That's the spirit that we pushing. We chanting down Babylon, man. You understand? Babylon the great, of course, it's not physically falling yet, but it's on the way there, man. It's spiritually finished, and it's what they call circling the drain. You understand? Babylon is circling the drain. America is circling the drain in every which way. And the YouTube is chronicling it. The YouTube is televising the fall of America, man, for the whole world to see. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and it's become the habitation of devils, kind of like the brother was reading into. Russia, from the land of the north over there, on the eastern hemisphere, is going to what? Make this place desolate. And it's become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of unclean and hateful birds. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. Because America pushes her philosophies or ideologies across the globe. So the majority of these nations, even nations that hate America, even Russia and China adopts some of the philosophies of America, man. Feminism, man. Capitalism. A lot of nations accept democracy, so on and so forth. Christianity, so on and so forth. For all nations have drunken of the wine of her wrath, of the wrath of her fornications, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. They're also doing all type of business with America. These different nations through the capitalistic system. That's why this trade war is this trade tariff thing is such a big deal. Because these nations, they want, if you want to make money as a nation, you got to trade with America. You have to do business with the American market, because America has the biggest consumer base. This is where all the money is, man. Yep. So that's one of the main ways. Economics, they do trades with America. And America, a lot of times, America wants you to adopt other ways in order to do business with her. You have to adopt homosexuality. You have to adopt democracy. You know what I mean? So on and so forth. You have to give your people certain quote-unquote freedoms in order to deal with America. And a lot of these other nations, they acquiesce to a certain extent. Some nations more than others, but overall, yeah, these nations get down with America in one way or another. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of our delicacies. So the heads of these different nations, they do business here in America, and they make all type of money, man. You know what I mean? That's why you have elites all across the globes of these different nations. Even poor nations, you have certain elites within them that do business dealings with America, man. And they sell out their people. You understand? And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of our sins, and that ye receive none of our plagues. That's the spirit that we pushing, man. Come out of America spiritually. You know, I mean, we telling you Israelites, you so-called black Hispanics and Native Americans, which is the Lord's people, to come out of America spiritually. Repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. And we published it on the YouTube, telling you to wake out of deep sleep. Romans 13 and 11. For her sins have reached down to heaven. Like the brother was saying, man, all type of, if you have a precepts, you could cut in any time. Like the brother was saying, all type of manner of madness every day is upside down day in America, man. Pushing forth homosexuality, pushing forth women over men. Before this, we were just watching a woman openly talking about committing adultery, man. With no punitive actions taken upon her, man. She's just on the YouTube talking about committing adultery. That's the fall of a society. One of the main sayings people say is that you can know the fall of a society by how the woman acts. And the woman in America is known around the world for being whores and harlots and adulterers and demons, man. No people across the globe want their women to be like American women. American men don't even want American women.
That's why they got the passport, bros. You know, and this is not this is also why we need to we can't wait for the kingdom, man, because in the kingdom you have some stuff, some sins that you commit, they have a public execution, man.
Yeah.
Right?
Like adultery.
Exactly. To show other women, if you commit adultery, this is what's going to happen to you, man. And that'll put the fear of the Heavenly Father in these whores to say, nah, I ain't even on that type of time. Like, I'm a find a way to love and serve my man. Because they know, man, you commit adultery, right? You know, that's a sin unto death, man. Right? So if these women, you know, if America was really a land a land of the law when it comes to the scriptures,
righteous.
Half the shit that's going on here wouldn't be happening, man. Because this America caters to women, man.
Kind of scriptures say the law is slack in Habakkuk. The law is slack and righteous judgment do it not go forth. Some people gonna be bragging about, hey, y'all niggas bragging rap videos about killing all the niggas, man. And they playing on public airways, man. They playing on the public radio, man. Rap music, drill music, talking about shooting all the niggas, man. Openly talking about going on drills, killing. That shows you. That's another telltale sign of what? America is falling, man. You have niggas on the YouTube publishing videos about openly committing murder, man. Selling drugs.
And then they get upset when Esau comes after them and they lock their ass up.
But Esau is the devil because he allows this shit, man. Yeah. You be outlawing that shit. You don't be allowing a nigga to post YouTube rap videos about shooting niggas and selling drugs, committing adultery. You be outlawing it, but that shows you Esau is the devil, man. You understand? And that's the moral decay of Babylon, of America. And the moral decay is a telltale sign of the fall of any society, man. The moral decay, the decay of the nuclear family. How much people are being raised by single mothers, you know what I mean? Or single fathers or whatever, man. It shouldn't be that way. But that's how America is, man. All messed up. You understand? You got something?
Yeah, Psalms 137. I'm gonna start at verse 7. It says, "Remember, O Lord Yahweh, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, Raz it, even unto the foundations thereof."
So that's Esau, Edom, man. And it's going back to ancient Babylon, where the Edomites was like, yo, F them Israelites up, man. Get them. They was helping the Babylonians to put us in captivity.
It says, "O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed."
So daughter of Babylon is the modern day Babylon. And that's the empire ruled by the Edomites, man. You know what I mean? Who are to be destroyed. So modern day Babylon, which is America, Babylon the Great, the daughter, they have different ways of saying the daughter of Babylon, virgin daughter of Babylon, is ought to be destroyed. That's what we're pushing for. Go ahead on.
It says, "Happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and destroy thy little ones against the stone." Yeah, slack it on that. Dashes thy little ones against the stones.
You want to go with it?
Yeah, so basically the same, man, because remember, the Lord has to put a spirit on his men to, really do certain things in those last days, because as much wickedness as Esau has done to the nation of Israel, at the end of the day, Jake are still, even some wicked niggas, man, will still look at an Edomite baby and be like, yo, I can't, even though a little Edomite baby could be like damn near 6 to 9 years old and have no problem putting a bullet in Jake's head. So because of the Lord's anger, right, the Lord has to put his spirit and his anger on his people to be like, yo, I don't care what age group Esau's in, right? Them little ones gonna get it, because you gotta remember, during slavery, they was using Jake babies as alligator bait, man. So Esau has done a lot of horrific things. So when it comes down to like the Lord's people, the Lord's elect, man, the Lord's gonna put a certain spirit on his men to wreak havoc, during those last days when Yahweh Shah comes back to nuke this place, man.
So that's the judgment awaits America and Edomites, man. Because Esau, Edom did all he dashed our babies against the stone. The Spaniards were famous for doing that to the Taino Indians.
Oh yeah, they used to have sports games where they'll cut the babies out the mom's womb, throw them up and see who can catch the babies
with the sword
on their sword, or even like just playing like soccer with the man's head and just feeding them to the wolves, man.
Yeah, to the dogs.
Yeah, the dogs. Yeah,
come on. So Esau has a lot to pay for, man. And the scriptures go into right here. Revelations 18:6. Reward her even as she rewarded you. Double unto her. Actually, let me start at verse 5. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High remembered her iniquities. So the Most High remember this. The Most High see all the wickedness that Esau doing, man. And that's how we bring it forth. Also, one of the main things that we're doing on the YouTube is showing for the history of why Esau and Edom is going to be judged the way he's going to be judged. We showing forth the records, the history, the truth of what went on, man. The truth of why Esau, Edom needs to be judged according to the scriptures, man.
And if I could add too, Esau's trying to erase his history, man. They don't even really teach. They don't really even teach out of schools. You know, Trump is passing certain laws to get rid of damn, I forgot the name of it. To get rid of not critical thinking. It's basically
like Black history.
Not Black history. What's it called? Race.
Oh, race. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I forgot the name, but yeah. Trump is trying to basically pass some laws to get rid
critical
of
race theory or something?
Yes, something along that line, because he don't want the world to know what he did to the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Because what Esau's doing is, if you erase all the wickedness he did, now people won't have no clue as to why we're in this predicament. Now, at the end of the day, it's of the Heavenly Father, but nevertheless, history still matters. So if Jake don't know why they're at the bottom, they can't blame it on Esau for being wicked. So what you do, man, you start to just erase the truth.
They have no reason to hate Esau.
Yeah.
If Esau erases the history, then a nigga will be like, a little nigga will be like, why would I hate? Why people so nice?
Yeah.
And a lot of niggas, like a lot of niggas don't even know about slavery, man. A lot of you young Jakes, man. You know what I mean? You don't even know nothing about history, man. You know what I mean? But that's because of Esau, Edom. He want to push that. He want to push, forget about his slavery. Forget about lynchings. Forget about all that. Let's move on.
But don't forget about 9/11.
Yeah, don't forget about the Holocaust. You understand, boy? Forget about slavery. Non-violence. Let bygones be bygones. Mm-hmm. That's because he's the devil, man. And he's guilty. Verse 6, Revelation 18:6. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works. In the cup which she had filled to her double. Concept. That's what we're bringing out. Yo, Esau, Edom is going to be rewarded double for all the atrocities that he committed against us, man. How much she had glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. Constant torment and sorrow is waiting in America and Esau, Edom in general. For she said in her heart, I see the queen and I'm the widow and shall see no sorrow. That's the thinking here in America, especially amongst your American Edomites. No nation can defeat America. No nation can come up against America and defeat her. But guess what? We're casting out that strongly. We're showing you that, yeah, nations is going to come up against America, and America will be destroyed. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord of power who judgeth her. So this is what we bring in, man. Let me read that again. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burnt with fire. For strong is the Lord power who judgeth her. So the Lord is going to judge this place. That's ultimately the spirit that's what the message that we're pushing. The Lord is going to judge this place and deliver the elect of you so-called Black Hispanics and Native Americans who are the Israelites according to the scriptures. Okay, so with that, hope you brothers and sisters were edified. We're going to say all praises be to Yahweh,
Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Akakodash.
Double honors to the apostles, elders of great millstone rule well, and shalom to the elect.
Shalom.
Abad babal.
Abad babal.